Not long after, giant zombies appeared, ready to enter the battlefield. Their numbers were massive and overwhelming. Even Hong Lian couldn't hide her shock. Her assistants began to worry, realizing they might not have the strength to defeat such monstrous foes. Still, Hong Lian ordered everyone to fight until the very end. Retreat was not an option. Meanwhile, Zhang Yi remained on the rooftop, carefully observing the arrival of the giant zombies. Without hesitation, he drew one of his most powerful weapons from his dimensional space, preparing for the greater threat. Excitement lit up his face as he loaded a high-caliber projectile, enhanced with his special abilities. Once fired, the bullet rapidly closed in on the towering targets, who immediately sensed the danger. One of the giants had its head blown open, the bullet piercing through with ease. Pleased with the result, Zhang Yi continued his assault. The remaining giants, however, took cover behind the smaller zombies. Undeterred, Zhang Yi fired again. With his unique shooting ability, bullets descended from above, destroying several giant zombies in one strike. Both Xiao Honglian and Wei Ding Tian, witnessing the battle, felt stunned and relieved, realizing that Zhang Yi was no longer their enemy. Tian and his troops finally arrived on the battlefield, showcasing their strength atop the fierce Seri Gallic. Tian struck with his massive axe, crushing everything around him like a meteor ravaging the earth. His mutant Seri Gallic unleashed a blast of freezing air, instantly immobilizing the surrounding zombies. With a swing of its tail, the attack was completed, smashing through their enemies with brute force. Impressed by his allies' display of power, Wei stepped into the battle. With swift movements, he cracked the ground open, burying the surrounding zombies and reducing the threat in one clean sweep. Elsewhere on the battlefield, a common man armed only with a kitchen knife faced off against a mutant rat. Though he couldn't avoid the creature's sudden strikes, he kept fighting with unwavering bravery, like a true warrior who refused to surrender. High above, Zhang Yi continued to monitor the battle with sharp eyes. With ease, he picked off the giant zombies one by one. Still, curiosity crept into his mind. Why were the giant zombies so reckless, exposing themselves without proper protection? Back at the zombie emergence point, Junwoo and his team also observed the enemy's movement. Shock rippled through the group as over 100,000 zombies poured out from the tunnel, raising fears of an even greater horde hidden beneath the surface. With the zombie army continuing to rise, their defenses were starting to look fragile. Wu Di remained calm and affirmed that, even if they had to fight to the last, their main objective was still to eliminate the king, the zombie behind this entire invasion. After some discussion, they decided to move faster. Xiaoyu was tasked with using his powers to investigate the tunnels. Soon, he returned with alarming news: more zombies, multiple commanders, and a number of white-furred apes. The sheer size of this force added to the team's growing concern. Junwoo became convinced that this was a trap, carefully planned by their enemy. Even Wu Di, though not the most intelligent among them, began to sense the cunning strategy behind the attack. Vice Captain Bai Li asked what their next step would be. Junwoo decided to lure more of the zombies toward the Snow Sect's headquarters, concentrating the fight at a single, more manageable location. The battle raged on with intensity. Yet, the snow covering the ground remained untouched, unmelted despite the growing heat of conflict. Zhang Yi, though beginning to tire after taking down so many enemies, remained alert. He knew the zombie attack showed no sign of ending anytime soon. Inside the temple, Kang Yi prayed alongside Hushu to the god he worshipped. Yu Qiera stood beside him, silently pleading for the god to protect Zhang Yi. But then Kang Yi surprised her. He declared that only those most faithful were worthy of divine protection. It was the first time they had spoken directly. Kang Yi noticed the worry etched on Yu Qiera's face, as if she felt helpless to protect the man she loved. Yu Qiera explained that as a doctor, she had done everything she could, and was prepared to support in any way her skills allowed. However, Kang Yi questioned why she hadn't considered stepping onto the battlefield herself. He gave her a sharp look, and for a moment, Yu Qiera hesitated. But then she recalled Zhang Yi's plea. He had asked her not to accept such an offer. With clarity and resolve, Yu Qiera stated firmly that she had no intention of entering the battlefield. Kang Yi, continuing to provoke her, remarked that her untapped potential could still be awakened. He even offered to help her unleash it. With a hint of sarcasm, Yu Qiera asked if Kang Yi believed he could turn someone into a powerful mutant. Kang Yi merely smiled, reminding Yu Qiera that Zhang Yi needed her help on the battlefield. The temptation almost shook Yu Qiera, but the words of her beloved echoed in her mind once again, helping her to hold back. Kang Yi did not press further, simply suggesting that she reconsider, as blessings like this were not to be wasted. After that, Kang Yi resumed his prayers to the snow god, letting the atmosphere return to a solemn calm. Meanwhile, on the battlefield, the fight between the soldiers and the zombies grew fiercer, though the snow continued to fall. Hong Lian communicated with Junwoo over the radio, reporting that their defense line was close to collapsing. Junwoo responded, saying that they were almost at the Zombie King and needed just a little more time to execute the plan. Atop the building, Zhang Yi continued to eliminate the giant zombies below. Even so, the number of incoming zombies remained overwhelming, and the troops under Zhang Yi's command struggled to hold back the relentless waves. Chun Lei showed her prowess in combat, providing solid support to Lian and Uncle Yu. Lian moved swiftly, slashing through the frozen zombies, while Uncle Yu, no less powerful, chose to wield 2 heavy machine guns. From above, Zhang Yi observed the increasing number of zombies, coming from all directions with greater speed. Behind the defensive line, mutant rats emerged from holes in the snowy ground, attacking anyone nearby. The victims, shot and mauled, could barely resist, especially against these mutant creatures. Their assault moved closer to the temple, threatening the defenses from an unexpected direction. Hong Lian reported via radio that they had held the line for over 40 minutes, but the number of zombies continued to rise, and they couldn't hold the front any longer. Junwoo explained that they needed just about 10 more minutes to eliminate the zombie kings. Upon hearing that, Hong Lian ordered her troops to protect the temple entrance, where many weak and vulnerable people had taken refuge. The disciples of the snow sect began falling one by one, overwhelmed by the unending onslaught. From atop a building, Zhang Yi watched the situation deteriorate, unaware of the threat approaching from above. The mutant cat beside him suddenly reacted, its body growing rapidly in size. Only then did Zhang Yi realize that the giant zombies could now fly. The mutant cat lunged viciously, attacking any flying zombies within its reach. Meanwhile, a group of flying zombies charged at Zhang Yi. With calm precision, Zhang Yi used his portal ability to absorb the attacking zombies. However, other flying zombies halted just before the portal, giving Zhang Yi a brief moment to breathe amid the chaos. The situation continued to worsen. Zhang Yi focused on fighting the airborne zombies relentlessly attacking from above. Below, the ground battle spun out of control. The flying zombies began descending, worsening the already weakened defenses. Zhang Yi reported over the radio that the giant zombies could now fly and had entered the battlefield. This news reached the army leaders, spreading fear among them. The sky was filled with these monstrous beings, and their attacks were lethal. Tian, wielding his massive axe, tried to counterattack, but the flying zombies skillfully dodged every strike. Zhang Yi realized that the defense line had lost its value. Indeed, until the exploration team succeeded in defeating the Zombie King, this place would remain a living hell. As the situation grew more dire, Zhang Yi ordered his followers to retreat and prepare for evacuation. He felt an urgent need to ensure Yu Qi'er's safety, which had become his top priority. Suddenly, a swarm of flying zombies stormed the temple. Zhang Yi opened a portal and rushed toward the temple. Upon landing on the rooftop, he saw a group of zombies being thrown out through the window, swept away by flames. He felt relieved knowing a mutant was protecting Yu Qi'er inside. However, upon entering, he found only Kong Yi. Behind a pillar, Yu Qi'er hid, visibly anxious. Zhang Yi tried to calm her down, assuring her that he was there to save her. Kong Yi, quietly observing, realized Zhang Yi's abilities. He knew Zhang Yi had been nearby for some time, yet he had only appeared at the window a few seconds after a massive explosion. Zhang Yi's skills began to intrigue him. There was no time for further discussion. The situation grew increasingly urgent, forcing them to retreat immediately. The temple's defenses had collapsed, and the zombies had broken through. Zhang Yi swiftly carried Yu Qi'er out, running toward a safer place. Using his teleportation ability, he escaped with her. Kong Yi watched closely as Zhang Yi utilized his spatial skills. In a blink, Zhang Yi reappeared atop a building, from where he could observe the surrounding area. After issuing the retreat command, Zhang Yi's mutant cat quickly joined him at the rooftop. Yu Qi'er, seeing zombies in a new and terrifying form for the first time, felt confused. Zhang Yi explained that these were likely evolved or modified zombies. Yu Qi'er grew anxious, realizing they were now surrounded by zombie hordes. Elsewhere, Hong Lian and her troops gave everything they had to hold the line. Wei and the regular forces also fought desperately, not letting a single zombie breach their defenses. Zhang Yi, the only one coordinating the retreat, used his communicator to ensure every move was executed precisely. Chun ran in a panic to escape, chased by a group of zombies. Seeing this, Zhang Yi immediately ordered his mutant cat to save her. With a mighty leap, the cat charged through the zombies in its path, rescuing Chun and safely returning her to Zhang Yi. It seemed to enjoy every moment of it. Chun, who usually lived a calm and uneventful life, now fought fiercely, even as exhaustion took its toll. Zhang Yi, aware of the escalating danger, pulled out a grenade device to strike back. But as he watched, he noticed something strange in the zombies' movements. They had suddenly stopped and stood still, as if they were waiting for something.